Hello, my name is Nadia and you're watching A Cozy Knitting Corner. This is my knitting podcast where I share my love for yarn and knitting. Welcome, let's get started. This is my episode number 6 and today I will share with you 4 finished objects and then also show you what I'm currently working on at the moment. The first finished objects, actually I can't show you, it's the Sophie scarf for my mom. I finished it in, last time I remember I said maybe it would take me 3 or 4 days further to finish it, but it took me in total 18 days to finish it. I parked it, I worked on something else, but I got done in time and I also blocked it and it is beautiful. I will insert a picture of my beautiful mom wearing the scarf, and I can also show you a picture of my little sister up close wearing the scarf. You can't see her face. It's knit in this pure cashmere yarn I have showed you so many times, but I have it right here in this yarn ball. It's pure cashmere I bought on the app Shein. Looking like this, and it has this little nylon thread, I assume it is, to go with it. I think I'm having enough yarn here for another scarf maybe, so that I will do sometimes eventually. Yeah, then you can see right here is a finished Magnolia chunky cardigan by the designer Camilla. She's a Danish designer, but this pattern you can also buy in English. It is finished. I have finished the knitting process of it, and it took me to finish the knitting process of it 88 days. But actually, when I decided I was gonna record today, I started to crochet the buttons. There must be 12 buttons all the way up. They are pretty close actually. I like it pretty close so that it won't gap in between. But yeah, here it is in its glory. I made the size medium because my gauge was off, and I'm glad I did, because this is actually just a little big or loose up here, and that's actually why I also knitted the buttons or crocheted the buttons today, so I could show it to you. So let me insert a footage of the cardigan so you can show it. Let's see it. I knitted the cardigan, as I have mentioned a lot of times before, in this Sandnesgarn called Kos or Kos. It's a yarn consisting of 62% baby alpaca, 9% wool, 29% nylon. It's produced in Norway by Sandnesgarn. I'm shaking. As I also have mentioned a lot of times, I bought it pre-owned. This color is 2533. I don't know if you can get it anymore because I didn't buy it in a store. I bought it pre-owned. Yeah, and I haven't actually weighed it yet, but I know I have not used all the yarn that I have. It is the most soft yarn, not that warm actually. I wore it today, but it is so soft and it's not at all scratchy. I can have it on my neck here without any trouble. Though I'm not a scratchy person, or not scratchy, but I'm not, yeah, what do you call that? I can feel it if it's prickling, but it's not annoying me a lot. The Magnolia Chunky Cardigan has this beautiful Magnolia bloom pattern at the bottom of the cardigan, and then it has a ribbing with a twisted knit stitch. It also has a little, not the flowers, the magnolias, but the twisted ribbing and a little bit of lace in the sleeves. At first I actually thought it would be beautiful with coir buttons, the brown ones, but maybe I just think it should be these crocheted ones. I can show you, and I don't know, many of you watching is from United States, but if any one of you from England or other places are watching, I don't know the crochet terms in English language. The Danish word for this is fastmasker. Maybe, I assume it must be single stitch, but I don't know. You knit 8 of those stitches in a circle, and then you do 2 repeats in the round and put the ends in as a stuffing piece and just tie the button on it, and then you can sew it on the cardigan. It's a quick little button, and actually I think it's very cute. It has the same color. Yeah, so finally I finished my Magnolia Chunky Cardigan, and I haven't washed and blocked it yet, so it's not that finished either, but I haven't with this one either, so it will come. Yeah, I'm happy I did that. I'm proud of it, and I think it's beautiful, and I think the color is beautiful, so I will get a lot of wear out of this. It's still February and it's still cold here in Denmark, so yeah, we need the woolly things on top of our, I'm here in a linen dress today, but on top of our other clothes. We are just about to sew on a button, right? Yeah. A crocheted little button. And Carlo here is helping me. He's so kind. Yeah, you're so kind. You're helping me. Yeah. I made this button out of a stitch I can't pronounce in English, but in Danish it is called fastmasker. And then I made a little ball, and I need 12 of those little yarn buttons for my Magnolia Chunky Cardigan. Does your animals also do this? Lie on your knits. It doesn't matter, he's the kindest, sweetest little guy. He's not messing anything up. But he just wants to be close to Mama. Well, last time I showed you the Hugorm socks by Trillegarn. You can see it right here. One was finished last time also, but now both of them are. Here's the second one. I will not talk a lot about this because it's a Danish pattern. You can't buy it in other languages. But it consists of this pattern all the way down on top of the leg and on top of the foot. I have knitted it in Mayflower First Class, the orange, and the colorful one here is Hobbii. I think Hobbii Atlas, I don't know. It's also both bought pre-owned. I love to buy yarn pre-owned. I'm using an app called Recraft, but it's also a Danish app. Maybe you have your own apps where you are. Yeah, marketplaces and stuff like that. But most of the times you can get good quality yarns for cheaper money than if you bought it in a store. and you help people with their stock issues. So yeah, win-win, I would say. These Hugorm socks took me 74 days to finish, so I must have finished it when I recorded last, because I noticed that I also wrote 74 days last time, but I finished it the day I recorded last, in January. Well, I finished another pair, and you did not actually see that at all. It's another pair for my husband. Here it is. Construction is exactly the same way as the last ribbed sock for him. 2x2 ribbing all the way down on the leg, and 2x2 ribbing only on the foot, on top of the foot, and stockyarn at the bottom. It's a shadow wrap heel. This I did in contrasting color, and also the cuff, but the toe I kept it in the main color. And I did that because as I was knitting this, I suddenly remembered that I would like to use this brown yarn for another project, and I was not sure that I needed all 100 grams, so I couldn't spare for the toe. But yeah, like last time, a ribbed sock is not looking like much when it's not blocked. They haven't been washed and blocked, but you know, blocked on a sock blocker. He hasn't worn these yet, so now you have seen them and he can wear them. It's knitted up in opal yarns. This one I did not buy pre-owned, but I can't remember where I bought it. Well, it doesn't matter. I have something here, a leftover. It's a very neutral bluish grayish kind of color, ending up with some kind of stripes, you see. Can I tell you the color name maybe? I can't. It's from the Winterweide collection, and the color numbers are 11196. You can see here 11196. Yeah, I love to knit with opal yarns. It is actually, I think, maybe one of my favorite sock yarns that is not hand dyed. I think it's more sturdy than the other, long lasting, but time will tell. I have knitted him, my husband, a lot of socks, and he has worn out a lot of socks, but the other opal sock pair he has 0 holes yet. And he has, how long did he have that pair? I can't remember. Maybe I can put it on the screen if I remember. But he has had the other pair for quite a while. Yeah, it's not a cheap sock yarn. I don't know what it is in dollars, but it's almost 100 Danish crowns for 100 grams skeins, eller skein, eller ball. But my experience is that the cheap yarns wear out sooner. So another pair of socks for my husband, and I have not, whoops, let's turn it. I have not cast on another pair for him, but I will. But I have a deal, I made a deal with myself that I will not cast on too many projects. I would rather like to finish some of the projects I have. So eventually I will cast on another pair for him because he needs them. But right now, no, because you will see in what's on my needles that I'm already having a sock pair on my needles. Yeah, but that was all of the finished objects. Some socks, a scarf, and then my cardigan. yeah. And speaking of cardigan, I am also wearing one. I mentioned that I just started to do the buttons on the Magnolia cardigan. And this cardigan I have just also today sewn in these 4 buttons. It has been off my needles for, I started it in 2020, but I don't think I finished it until maybe 22, 21. A year later, I think I finished it. It's an April cardigan by PetiteKnit. I knitted in Lana Gatto yarns, 2 strands held together. It's the Lana Gatto VIP. It's a cashmere blend. And the Lana Gatto mohair without silk, the nylon mohair. I don't remember the colors, but it was a very royal blue mohair and a Ferrari blue maybe, VIP. And it will, yeah, give you this mild look. You can tell by the, yeah, pilling that I have used this a lot, but still didn't wash and block it. Maybe I should do that now that I have sewn in the buttons. I love this cardigan. I think it sits nicely on the shoulders. It has this saddle shoulder construction. Yeah, it's not slipping off. It's very, yeah, comforting. This one is a round yoke, and it's more big. It's growing here. It has a tendency to slip off my shoulders, but I will just keep it buttoned up so it won't go anywhere. This one I love. Maybe I would knit another one, maybe not. But first thing I need to do is to knit another cardigan, but not this one. So yeah, this is my PODDERWEAR. This is what I'm wearing today. I knit this myself. I love it. And this mohair without silk, it is not scratchy. I have nothing underneath. It's my bare arm. I'm not, yeah, it's not itchy. For some people it would be, even mohair with silk in it would be itchy for some people, but I don't find it itchy. I can feel it, but it's not, yeah, bothering me. So now it's time for me to pick up my boy. He's in football school we have a winter vacation this week, so I will pause this and come back when I have picked him up. Hello, I'm back again. So if anything changed in the scenes, it's because I just had a lunch break picking up my son from his football training this winter vacation. He's training the first 3 days, Monday, Tuesday and Wednesday, and then he has Thursday and Friday off. Yeah. Where was I? I was about to show you, I think, what I have on my needles now. At the moment, I have just shown you the ribbed socks for my husband's, and I have shown you that the toes weren't brown. The toes were in the other opal yarn, and it is because I just remembered that I needed the brown one. So now I can show you the brown one. I needed that for another project. On my husband's wish list, there was a brown, not this brown, but a brown knitted beanie in some kind of rib construction. I did not make it in time for Christmas, but I have thought of it since I saw it. And then when I was knitting the socks, I asked him, would you like a knitted hat in this brown yarn? And he said yes, of course. So the opal color for this brown one is 5192. 5192. Yeah, it's also a sock yarn, running about 425 meters per 100 gram. The pattern I am knitting up is not that far along, you can see. Here it is. It is a classic ribbed beanie. No, classic ribbed hat is it, by Purl Soho. It's a free pattern. You can find it on her webpage and just follow it directly from there. And you can also choose to get a download for free sent to your email. I did both, or I did that so I can put it in my Knit Companion program and follow it there. But it's not difficult. It's classic rib, 1x1 rib. I haven't made it to the crown yet, so I can't tell you if the decreases is a difficult part, but I assume it's not, because a lot of people have knitted this classic ribbed hat. At the moment, I'm knitting it on my Xiaogu bamboo needles, 3.25 millimeter, with the see-through wire. I'm not a fan of these knitting needles, or maybe it's actually more the wire I'm not a fan of. But I started this project out on a 3.5 millimeter needle, 80 centimeter long lantern moon needles. There was something with the connection here, and I have it also a little bit here. Something wasn't smooth, it wasn't flowing. I had troubles getting the stitches onto the needles, and when you do magic loop, you have to do that every time you put the stitches back on the needle. So I switched it to a 3.25 millimeter Xiaogu bamboo needle and a 40 centimeter wire, I think. Maybe it's a 16 inch, I don't know. It's a little too big, but I think it will work out. I have issues when I'm going around here to get the stitches on also, but this is better than the first one. So actually, I don't know if you can see it, I can't. Actually, I cast on using 3.5, knitting a few rounds, and then switch to 3.25. I'm not sure you're gonna notice, so I'm not gonna rip back and start over. But yeah, it's a beginning, it's a project in the beginning. This will be a beanie or a hat for my husband, hopefully soon, in this opal sock yarn. I'm not sure what the gauge is. I did not gauge watch. I chose the, I think I had chose the adult medium, and because it's a rib pattern, and it has to sit snug to his head. Yeah, and I think maybe it's 30 stitches per 10 centimeters the gauge is, and I just assumed that would be great with stock yarn. So yeah, now I'll try it. I can always rip back if it's not gonna work. It's just a hat. Yeah, I actually haven't worked on this for a while. When coming down here, I'm recording in my crafting room in the basement. I found it and just did a few rounds preparing for this podcast, quickly browsing through my last episode. Yeah, so now I'll pick it back up. And as I told you earlier, I can't cast on another pair of socks for my husband, and that I can't do because I'm already knitting on a pair. I'm knitting on this pair of rainbow socks. It's gonna be a pair of socks for one of my colleagues' children. She has a son with the size European 36, and I had I was allowed, this is called that, I was allowed to pick the yarn. So I chose this rainbow yarn from my little collection of yarn. That little collection I just registered the other day, and it's 8.7 kilograms of sock yarn, only sock yarn. Almost 9 kilos of sock yarn. So this one needed to be a sock. The other one is here. So the first one is already done. I'm using a Danish guide so not a pattern but a guide, where I cast on 56 stitches on 2.5 millimeters, and then I did 13-ish rounds of 1 by 1 ribbing, and for the leg I did 46 rounds, I think, and then I made a shadow wrap heel. You can see the block is a little bit too big for this 36 size here, but a shadow wrap heel. And then for the foot, I am measuring my socks. So I did not count the rows. I was measuring it with my sock ruler. It is looking like that. Maybe some of you know it. And how it is working is that you just put it in your sock. You put it in the sock, in the heel here, and then all the sizing starts from there, 30, 31, and so on. And you just knit until you needed size, and for me it's here, 36. So let me show you. I put it in, and no pressing or pulling or anything, just making sure it's lying exactly as the heel is rounded. Yeah, and then you just carefully fold down, and you know now how far along you are. So here I'm quite far along because I need to knit down to there. And when I reach that point, I'm stopping and starting my toe decreases. Yeah, I think it's very easy. I think they always fit. So if you have a need to knit for someone where you don't have the actual foot in the house, a sock ruler is a very helpful tool. Yeah, I bought this at a Danish company called A Knitter's World. She has, I don't know if she ships abroad, but I think so. She has the most luxurious yarns that I yet not have tried. She has a lot of special yarns. She has soft yarns. Yeah, she has this ABC scaler where you can choose from. A is absolutely the softest and non-allergic yarns, and then B and C is more rough. I don't know, I seem to have lost the tag, but I can insert a photo because I always take pictures of the tags to put through on my Ravelry. It's a Hobbii yarn. It's called Silly Socks, and it's a self-striping yarn. Very beautiful for children's socks, at least. Well, I would not wear it, but I know a lot of children who would wear rainbow socks. So yeah, the funny story about this is my boy has the same name as the colleague's boy. Her name is Laurits, and I was so sure that my boy Laurits' foot was a size 36. So I knitted and I knitted and I knitted and I knitted, and I ruled it, and I saw that I was close, but not that close. I was about 35. I put it on his feet one evening, and then it was almost to the end of his biggest toe. Yeah, biggest toe, whatever. It was almost to the end of the toes, and I panicked, and I just did the decreases there. Stopped and did the decreases. I wasn't at the 36 on the ruler. I did the decreases, and I tried it on him next day when I was finished doing the stitches, sewing the toe together. And I said, oh, it fits perfectly. That's great. And you are 36, right? And then my boy, says to me, no, Mom, I'm a size 35. So the first one I did is a size 35. I haven't actually held them up next to each other, but it must be a little bit smaller. Sorry. Then the 36 I have here. Let me check. 36, 35. Yeah, it's quite a lot smaller actually. Maybe he's a little 35 and he's a big 36. It's also a 36 and a 37 put together. So I actually have made a whole pair of socks here. They're just not the same size. So when I'm finished with the second one in the right size, I can knit my son a pair in his size. And then I will never ever ever again forget the size that he has. Guess who is buying his shoes? Me or my husband? Yeah, you're right, not me. Well, what can you do? I was not gonna frog this, of course. I was just thinking I will knit him a pair of socks then, if I have leftover yarns. It's a 100 gram ball of yarn. I haven't weighed what the 2 socks is weighing, but I assume I have enough. And if I don't, I just pop in another color at the foot. He doesn't mind, my own son. So it will be just fine. Yeah. The next project I will not show you here on the screen, but I have actually made some footage of that also. I am crocheting on a granny stripes blanket. And I just picked it up this January. It has been put away in a box for quite a while. When we were redoing this room, everything in here was taken down and put into boxes and furnitures were moved out. And I never got to unpack the last box. So when a Danish knitter here started her yearly blanket knit along, I began to wonder what did ever happen to my granny stripe blanket. And then I started looking for it and I couldn't find it. And I had a suspicion about where and which room, but not where in the room, but which room it was located in because of the unpacking of this room. So I started just decluttering the room, opening every box, moving away, opening, moving away. The last box, the very last box I opened in the room, there it was. My granny stripe blanket. And it has been languishing in a very long time. I will come back to that in the footage I will insert here. This giant blanket is not easy to show on the podcast because it's so big. Here it is folded in half, and what you see is from the bottom of the chair that is under the blanket and to the top is the length of it, and it is the length I'm working on. I started this, maybe it was in 2021, I don't remember. I'll correct myself on the screen if it's wrong. And then I knitted a lot of stripes. Crocheted. It's a granny stripes blanket. And then I stopped. And I just picked it up right here where the stitch marker is. This is my birthday, 28th of August. And I have I have crocheted this year from January until now. And today it is February the 12th. So my plan is that this granny striped blanket must be finished within this year. I'm knitting, no, still not knitting. I'm crocheting it in acrylic, leftovers and new balls of yarns. And it's very colorful. Yes, now you see my granny stripe blanket. It's a very, very, very big one. I have not measured it from one side to the other side and the length, and I don't know when it will be finished. Right now it is actually, the size is big enough to be a blanket, but because I would like the blanket stripes to go this way when it's over me, I need it to be longer, because right now it's more, yeah, it's wider than it's longer, and I don't like that look, because if you put it over you, the stripes will go down if you turn it the obvious way. So I'm just crocheting. I have this whole year to crochet on it and finish it to be a part of the knit along. It's a Danish knit along, so no rush to do that. But yeah, it's slowly moving, and it has been not slowly moving for several years, but yeah, quite some yarn and quite some hours went to that project. So of course I will finish it. I'm not sure where I'm gonna put it. I'm staring at it right now. It's right there. I'm not sure where I'm gonna put it in the house. It's very colorful, but yeah, maybe just down here in my crafty room, maybe upstairs in the sofa, who knows. We will find out. That was all I had for you today regarding finished objects. What are my needles and my PODDERWEAR? What am I wearing? But I have some knitting plans. Just to quickly go through my sock knitting plans, because this is not gonna be all about socks. But I like to knit socks, and I have knitted a lot of socks, but this year I will try to, yeah, not knit so many socks. But I also think I'm gonna participate, or I have started to participate. I need to finish one pair of socks every month, and it has to be from my yarn collection. No new sock yarn, old sock yarn, something I have, yeah, on stock or in my collection, has to become a sock every month. And when I have knitted 12 pairs, I am obligated to win a prize. So that's also a Danish knit along, not, I think, not open for international knitters, because the hashtag also is a Danish word, 12 par på et år. The letter A with a little circle above, you don't even know other places than Denmark. So yeah, 12 par på et år, 12 pairs in 1 year. So that's my plans for socks. And the ribbed socks you saw for my husband, that was the January pair, and the rainbow socks will be my February pair. So next month I will show you what is my March pair. But I also finished my Magnolia chunky cardigan. That was the selfish knitting I have to get started doing, and I want to get started doing more of the selfish knitting, my ego knits. So I still haven't cast on for the next one. But today I did it. I purchased the pattern for the, what is it called? The first cardigan by Lizzie Hester. And Lizzie Hester is called Hive_knits on Ravelry. I can insert her account here. She has some beautiful patterns. I think I haven't looked into it that much, but I will do that. But I bought the first cardigan pattern today because I have the yarn already, and I also showed you that last time, but I can show you again. Let me get it here. It's gonna be knitted in these two, Avetta Classic from Filcolana and Tilia from Filcolana, both in the light, the color, I think light truffle, something with truffle. 354, is it the same here? Yeah, 354. I think it's light truffle. So this is gonna be my next ego project. Today I bought the pattern, so I think today also is gonna be the day where I cast on, or at least find the needles and plan for it, find a project bag and so on. So next time you will see this one not as 2 balls but as something knitted. It's a stockinette cardigan with big balloon sleeves made in half fisherman's rib, I think. Yeah, so that is not something I have done a lot, so it will be fun. It's new and it will be fun. Yeah, but that is more or less my knitting plans. I would like to finish old projects. I have a lot in the cabin and lying around in the house, you know, not just cast on new things, new socks, new whatever, but actually look through my project bags and see what did I already start, and maybe I should finish that. So from next time I might have a new segment called What Old Project Have I Been Working On This Month? Wouldn't that be funny? I think so. So next time you can look forward to my first cardigan, or the first cardigan in this yarn. And you can, maybe if I remember it, look forward to seeing one of my old whips. One of them from the cabinet. One of them that I have not worked on for a while. And if I have made a lot of progress, you might see the granny stripe blanket again. Yeah. Until next time, have a great day. Take care. Be nice. Enjoy your life, your knitting. And if you like this video, give it a thumbs up, and even give it a hit the subscribe button. That would make me very, very, very happy. I would like to grow in here. I would like to, show my knitting to more of you out there, to the rest of the world. So please share and like and subscribe if you think this was something you would like to see again. Have a nice day. Bye.